beautiful creatures, welcome to my channel. I am Aradia, the Witch of Dark Light, and I hope you all are doing well. First, if this is your first time here, hello, and if you like all things magical, what do I mean by that? The occult, spirituality, rituals, candle magic, please do consider subscribing if this is the type of content that you like. So this video wasn't planned, but and I'm even filming this on my phone because my camera, the battery isn't charged, so I wanted to just get this video out there. So I received this book today, and it prompted me to want to make this video because I wanted to share some of my experience with seances. And if you didn't see the thumbnail, this is the book, and I'm not sure how everything is going to be filming on my phone, so if that's backwards or anything, I will do some b-roll. But right away, first of all, I can't give you a full review because I just received this book today. But what I wanted to share about it is, first of all, I know it may be corny to some, but for me, aesthetics is important. So this book I thought was well put together, and it's a hard cover book, which I also love. And what I like about this book is it breaks everything down in a way that you can understand it if you are a beginner. And it goes through a lot of the forms of divination that you can use in not just in a seance, but just used in general. So and it goes through the tools and how you use them in a seance. So, and then it even talks about, it breaks down tarot cards and goes through the major and minor arcana, and just breaks down what tarot cards are and their meanings and different things like that. So I thought that was even great to add to this book. And the author is Claire Goodchild. And she's known to have created a couple of tarot decks, I believe. But if you are looking to understand anything about a seance and are interested in wanting to know how to take part in a seance, I think this is a great book to have in your collection. So what I wanted to share with you is, but hold up, let me just take a sip. Yes, I have a glass of sparkly. It's been a long day. So what I wanted to share with you first, if you are looking to take part in a seance, or you feel like you want to have a seance, a word of caution. It is important to have someone host the seance that is experienced. And you need this so that they can anchor down the room. And what do I mean by that? Anchor it down by making sure, you know, there's protection, making sure that anything unwanted doesn't enter. Just a lot of things to take precaution. Because if you are not experienced, you may tap into something and then go home with something and not even know it. So just a word of caution. Make sure, and even if you aren't hosting it yourself and you're going to one, still do your research and make sure that it is with someone that is experienced, and even pay attention to who is in the circle, because sometimes the wrong energy can follow a person into the circle. So that is when it's very important for the people that are experienced and anchoring down this seance, can see this and help cleanse that away, kind of clear the circle and create a sacred space for this seance to take place. So with that caution out of the way, when I had my first seance, it was this profound experience, because what happened was I received a message from this person from my past life who was there to give me a message that had been trying to give me that message for several years. I'm not even sure how many years, but so they delivered the message. They told me his name, and when they started to describe him, I began to believe it, because a few years before the seance, I went to a reader, and she was trying to tell me that there's this man here, and she was describing him. And at the time, I'm thinking about this life, right? So I wasn't thinking that something could be coming through from my past life. So I couldn't, she didn't receive the full message. So I walked away not knowing who was trying to connect. But when I was at the seance, that same information came through also. So what happened was, this person wanted to apologize to me for not being able to save me from slavery. I'm not quite sure what era it was, but it was definitely at the point in time when I was in slavery, and as an African woman. So right away, I began to feel the emotion like I was back in that past life, and I couldn't even I was having a hard time forgiving, because that emotion came over me, and I felt like I was that past life. So one of the sisters in the circle gave me a hug and helped me through it, and that's another thing. So you have to think about, when you have a seance, what's going to come through, the emotions that may arise, any traumas you may have had with who you are connecting with. So these are things to think about when you are having a seance. So I worked through that, and then I forgave him, and his presence was no longer felt, because they visualized him bending down and giving me a rose, and saying thank you. So just thinking about it I feel the emotion, but so I walked away like, yes, I will be doing seances and going to seances, going forward. So after that, I began to go, and then what was happening also is I was finding out that I was able to actively take part in a seance, because I was able to connect with the dead, and I didn't realize that was something that I know I could see spirits, but to actively at that time understand that I was able to communicate with the dead, especially in a seance setting. I wasn't aware, so that helped me cultivate that part of me. So over time, what had happened was we went to a seance that a friend was having, and the person that was running it was experienced, and we knew the people. So I don't know, I think before I went, I had a sound. I don't know if it was a healing, but the singing bowl someone had done for me, I guess it was like a healing to break down blockages. And let me tell you, it broke down blockages, because during that seance, we're sitting there waiting for the host to deliver any messages or say what's in the room. But what was happening was I began to see stuff. And all of a sudden, I saw this woman, she's looking at me like, can you deliver this message? And so I delivered the message, and it was confirmation to someone. So after that, it was like the floodgates opened up, and I began to communicate with what was in the room. And it felt very comfortable. So that's another thing. When you go to a seance, you can't walk in there with fear, because that is the wrong kind of energy to bring into a seance. So it's like they say, when you walk past a dog or something like that, and well, not walk past them, like when you go to pet them and you're full of fear, they sense that, so they think something is wrong. So this is that type of a thing in a seance. The spirits, this frequency of fear can send the wrong signal. So from going and having those experiences, it opened up a door for me, and I was able to tap into another part of me that I didn't know was there, or even active, or that I was even capable of this type of communication. So I just wanted to share that with you. When this book is great and wonderful, and learning about seances is, I think you absolutely should, when you're on the path of spirituality and magic, working magic. I think, because understanding seances is simply understanding how to communicate in a circle, or communicate in a dedicated space. So a seance is simply you communicating with the spirits in a dedicated space, a safe circle, just to communicate and receive messages for yourself or anyone that's in the room. And sometimes it's not for the person in the room, because what happens is, this was a story of one of the people that was in the seances that I went to. She received a message. They showed her who the person was, and what happened was, it was like a year later, circumstances happened that she was able to run into the person to deliver the message. It had been a young boy that had passed away, and he wanted to deliver a message, and he knew that at some point there was going to be encounter with the person he gave the message to, and the person he wanted that message to be delivered to, which was his mother. So messages can be given in seances for people that aren't there. So that's another thing. But yeah, make sure that you do your due diligence and take all the precautions when participating in a seance. So I just wanted to share that with you, lovelies, and until the next video, I love you all, and into the shadows.